I'm Eric Powers, and welcome to the Lancers Coaches Show as we get ready for the Lancers and LCA and the home opener at Lancer Stadium this Friday night. But before we do that, we got to take a look back. And joining me to do that, head coach Chris Moore right there, defensive coach Scott Jennings right there. We're going to do the Lancers recap brought to you by Cooper Steel here on the Lancers Coaches Show. 34-7 win over Mecklenburg last week, Coach. Vast difference between the GW game and the Mecklenburg game. The kids seem to come out and just have a little bit of oomph to them, if you will, and just decided they were going to play some ball last Friday night.
Yeah, they really did a great job. I mean, I thought our kids were ready to go. Mecklenburg chose to receive the ball, and we were going to defer, so it happened naturally. We knew how the game was going to start, and I feel like that helped our guys kind of set the tone in the locker room. Hey, all right, like this is how we're going to start the football game. And we're lucky enough to have Coach Jennings on the show, and the defense really set the tone early, and I thought they dominated. We had 4 takeaways, and that makes it a lot easier on the offense. And I thought we were efficient on offense for the most part. But when defense gives you great field position, it was a complete opposite from GW. GW, I felt like we were at our own, 3-yard line, 12-yard line to start drives, and we were on +5. Thank you very much. Defense plus 18 or whatever it was. So I think the average starting field position was +48 for us, and then -24 for them. So that's a big difference.
Also a big difference, I thought. We talked about it last week, as a matter of fact. Missed opportunities. This time there were not very many missed opportunities.
Yeah, we hit our shots. I mean, we took the deep ball to Trey, and Trey went up and made a great 50-50 catch over their corner that helped set up kind of that put-away score, if you will. So I thought we hit our shots, and I thought our defense, I mean, they took advantage of those opportunities. Ball in the air, hey, it's mine. We came down with pretty much all of them. We had a bad pass interference call on the one that, we won't talk about that. But,
Scott, we were, Carrie and I, my partner on the broadcast, were talking a lot on Friday night about the pressure you were getting on the quarterback and making him make bad throws, especially off the edges. It seemed like that almost every time he tried to throw a pass down the field, you guys were in his face. Was that one of the, keys for you guys?
It was. It was. We really wanted to set the edge and stop the run. That was the number one intention of some of the blitzes and the stunts that we had to put in, and on passing situations too, passing downs, and we had some blitzes and that we were planning to run in those situations too. And the kids just came out. They set the tone from play one and just did a huge job. Start the game with a 3 and out. It's always huge for you, and it was just great energy that they came out and really set the tone.
After watching the first 2 games that the Phoenix played, it was kind of hard to believe how often they were running the football, but at the same time, you guys were up to the challenge.
Yeah, but it's still early in the season, and then people are still trying to figure out their identity offensively, defensively, and we weren't really sure what they were going to do. They beat a really good Hopewell team, and I was expecting a really good football team to defend, and they're big up front. They had great athletes on the field, very much like GW. They look like them on film. But we kids were up for the challenge. Was happy with their performance.
The different kinds and types, I guess you could say, of running backs that were coming into the ballgame from Mecklenburg, that presented kind of challenges.
Not really. We really focused on their blocking back number one. He was the guy that kind of the offense kind of runs around him, and we did a really good job. And that was the key guy that we really wanted to take out and scheme around him. Basically, it's passing and rushing both sides.
Well, congratulations.
Thank
you. Did a great job. It was a great job by the defense.
Thank you.
And that's our Lancers recap, brought to you by Cooper Steel. Looking back at last week's big win over Mecklenburg County on the road. And we'll come back. More of the Lancers Coaches Show. Welcome back to the Lancers Coaches Show this week. I'm Eric Powers, and we are up to our player of the game, brought to you by your State Farm agent in Madison Heights, Kim Z. Gardner. And we appreciate, as always, her sponsoring our coverage of Lancers football throughout the season. We'll talk to Andrew Marsh right now. The place kicker for the Amherst County Lancers. Great game against Mecklenburg last week. Congratulations on that. 4 or 5 on the extra. What happened to the block one?
I don't know.
They're just kind of standing back there. You got to watch him kind of horror. Is that
Yeah, well, yeah, but I'll take the blame for that one.
How come?
Well, I got to get the kick higher.
Yeah, okay, all right, okay. We'll give you that one. You also had a couple of touchbacks in the game. Your philosophy coming from being a soccer player to being a football player.
Yeah.
Different sphere that you're kicking all of a sudden. Tell me about your approach to it.
Well, I just got to kind of learn how to kick the football instead of the soccer ball, but I still got to translate some of the same things because it's some are the same and some are not the same. So I just got to figure out the mechanics of kicking the football.
Now I know from being a soccer coach myself, for years and years, you're taught the inside of your foot, the inside of your foot, the inside of your foot. That's where your control is.
Yeah.
What's the difference between that and kicking the football? Is it basically the same?
I think some of it is the same. I think it's more about where on the football that I have to kick it, but also where on my foot and where I've got to have a little bit more aim with the football than with the soccer ball, so it's definitely a little harder.
All right. So when you step out onto the field, here comes the rest of the special teams out there with you, getting ready to line it up, and you step out on the field and get ready for a kick. What's your mindset? Is it just the uprights, or is it concentrating on eye on the ball kind of thing?
Well, I gotta trust the guys around me, so I just gotta go out there and do my job. So it's really all
Kickoffs the
I think
same
about.
night?
Yeah.
What was
I
the
gotta
difference
trust
between?
those guys.
Was it a difference? And I'm going to ask this just because I'm curious. Real turf, real grass at GW.
Yeah.
Turf at Mecklenburg. Does that make a big difference in length of kick or how you kick?
Not really. I prefer to play on turf because that's what I've always played on, but I can, it's the same for me how I approach a kick. So.
All right. Field goal tries. Got to get to one of those, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. That would be sweet. Is there a yard line or yardage, I guess I should say, from the poles that you sit there and you go, yeah, I can make that, or I can't make that? Or do you just, it's all up here and you're just going to approach it any way that you
Yeah, I think, wherever we are on the field, I've got to say that, yeah, I can score from there. So it's just kind of, mental thing. I've got the strength, so I
All right.
just got to go out and kick it.
Congratulations on a great game
Thank
last week. Hopefully just as good this one.
I hope so.
Yeah, me too. That's Andrew Marsh. He's the player of the game this week, brought to you by your State Farm agent in Madison Heights, Kim Z. Gardner. And we'll be back with more after this. The Lancers Coaches Show continues. I'm Eric Powers with the head coach, Chris Moore, as we look ahead now. Brought to you by Mark Tomlin Realty and Coach, it's LCA. And it is for the home opener on Friday night. And you hate to break it down to just one player, but I almost have no choice but to go and say the name Gideon Davidson. I mean, you just almost don't have a choice. Talk about LCA a little bit, what you see on film, and
Well, LCA, I think, is everything that you would want in a football team. They're big, they're physical, obviously Gideon's fast, and they have some speed in other areas as well. But they are a good football team. Defending state champions, and Gideon is best in this area as we've seen in a long time. And it's a great opportunity, I think, for our guys to go out and showcase their skills and talents against a great football team. And so they're big up front. Easton Ware, all the way around. It's just all those guys up front are great. High school linemen. Obviously, a couple of them are playing college as well. And it's going to be a great challenge on both sides of the ball for us.
we talked a lot, or have talked a lot about in the past, about how important it is to be in your space and to be right there when you're getting ready to make a tackle. Now, that's going to be extra huge on Friday night.
Well, we talk a lot about having a pack mentality. And so, I like to use wolves as an example, but wolves attack bigger prey all the time. And how do they do that? Well, they work together. And so having this pack mentality on defense, our job, Coach Jennings was on the show earlier, like our job on the defensive side of the ball is really to create opportunities for our guys to have multiple hats to the football. So it is not just a one-on-one situation with Gideon in the hole or out in space. That's not advantageous for the Lancers. And so we've been trying to do a great job of creating opportunities to have a pack mentality, get multiple hats to the football, so we can do it together.
We already know also that they're usually very, very stout on defense. How do you counter that stoutness?
Well, I think that I like our team speed, if you will. I think overall, our team speed might be a little advantage, a small advantage going against the LCA Bulldogs. So trying to create opportunities for our guys in space, I think is important. And I tell them, my job as a coach, trying to get you one-on-one in space, go make a play. And so I want to create opportunities for those guys to go make plays. There's different scheme things you can do for angles and numbers and different things like that. But ultimately, I'm going to try to get them one-on-one in space, and let's go see if they can make a play and see if we can make more plays than they do.
Well, after watching last week and the, quite frankly, team effort it was to beat Mecklenburg County, I can't help but give you guys a good shot.
I think so. You never know how, you kind of, as a coach, you put your life into the hands of these 16, 17-year-old kids. And but I love our kids. I love our team. I believe in our football team. I think we have a good football team. We're still discovering ourselves in many ways. But I love our football team. I love our guys. I believe in our guys. And I think we have a good shot at any to go upset, in many ways. I think Drake and Talk had like plus 28 on the money line or whatever it is. But, I think I'm hoping we can surprise some people and we can go out and put really a great product on the field in front of our home fans.
All right, good luck.
Thank you so much.
There's Coach Chris Moore, and that's our look ahead brought to you by Mark Tomlin Realtor. And we appreciate you checking us out on the Lancers Coaches Show, and we'll see you next time.